Kia ora, St. Paul's Fano, and welcome to evening prayer. Hope your week has been going really well. We're just going to lead you through some prayer and reflections through one of the Psalms. My name is Alex, and this is Sarah. And as you can tell, we are very clearly in different bubbles. We've kind of done the lockdown dates. We've become pretty well versed in them. Sarah, do you have any favorite lockdown dates that we've had?
Yeah, probably my favorite was Alex's birthday last week. We did level 3 and we went outside to a park, which was really nice. Ate some food, and there was some great dogs that wanted to come and share that food with us. And shout out to Leafy and Whiskey. You guys were pretty cool. Nice to meet you guys. Yeah, it was one of my favorites so far.
I'd have to say maybe one of my favorite dates was when we went out for a rainy walk one of those weekends where it just wouldn't stop raining. We went to the Te Atatu Peninsula and we just wrapped up in our raincoats and got soaked, but it was still really refreshing and nice to be out and still be together. We've made the most of what we could with level 3 in our dates, like social distance, but I feel like we've definitely been recently feeling just kind of the grief and the pain of being apart as significant dates in our life passes. Like Sarah already mentioned, it was my birthday on Saturday, so we kind of miss celebrating that in the normal way. And then our 2-year anniversary is coming up soon as well, but I think more heavier was kind of missing the anniversary of Sarah's mom's passing, and so not being able to be together during those significant dates kind of meant we've carried a little bit of, just like everybody in this lockdown, a bit of grief and sadness as we've navigated these challenging times. And so as I've been reflecting on this evening prayer, the psalm that really stuck out to me was Psalm 126, which is really this beautiful idea that God allows us to lament and bring our grief and our feelings towards him, but he also doesn't let anything be wasted. I was also reminded of this quote that one of my friends said on Instagram, who's a pastor in the US. He said, approximately 1/3 of the Psalms are laments, and approximately 0/3 of the modern worship songs are laments, and that our grief can be worship too. And so I really was gravitating to this idea that we can grieve to God and we can bring those things, but the Psalm shows how God can do so much with our tears and so much with what we're feeling and grow something beautiful and new and joy out of that. And so we really invite you to join us in this prayer and reflection on Psalm 126. And we usually like to start by lighting a candle, which really just symbolizes the light of Jesus, which shines through any darkness. So if you have a candle with you at home, feel free to light it with us.
So as we light this candle, we bring our attention and focus to this time and space. Throughout this prayer time, if your mind starts wandering, you may want to return to this candle. Lord, we come before you and lay down at your feet the worries of the day. As we do this, we make space and we become aware of your presence. We recognize you as our holy creator, worthy of our praise. As we become aware of you, we slow down our breathing. We imagine that we are inhaling your love, which creates and sustains us. As we inhale deeply, we allow your love to fill every corner of the room and every corner of our body and mind. As we exhale, we breathe that love out into the world, into our relationships, and into our communities.
Our reading is from Psalm 126. When the Lord restored our fortunes of Zion, we were like those who dreamed. Our mouths were filled with laughter, our tongues with songs of joy. Then it was said among the nations, the Lord has done great things for them. The Lord has done great things for us, and we are filled with joy. Restore our fortunes, Lord, like the streams in the Negev. Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy, and those who go out weeping, carry seed to sow, will return with songs of joy, carrying sheaves with them. I was really gravitated to the Psalm 126, mostly because of that end bit, and I love the line where it says, "Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy." And I've just been kind of thinking about, just the mixed feelings that we've felt during this lockdown and the things that we've grieved and missed together. But this idea that God lets nothing be wasted, that he can even take our sadness or our tears and reap this harvest of joy in our life. And we do that by remembering his promises. And so we're going to go through the Psalm again. We're going to read it again this time in the Message translation, and we're going to put a prayer in between. So we're going to read a few verses and then read a prayer and then read the rest of the Psalm. And so we invite you to join with us. You can either read and pray out loud with us on the screen, or you can close your eyes and quietly pray in your head.
Psalm 126. It seemed like a dream, too good to be true, when God returned Zion's exiles. We laughed, we sang, we couldn't believe our good fortune. We were the talk of the nations. God was wonderful to them. God was wonderful to us. We are one happy people.
Lord, we know that you are always with us. Whatever we are facing, we know that people get to make choices here, to do good or evil, life or death, and everything in between. We know our choices aren't always clear, and we can't always predict their consequences. We know that the setting of the world to rights takes time, and we trust that your goodness is spreading all over the earth. We do our best to partner with you in your work, the work you've been doing since humanity began, bringing justice, enacting mercy, providing for the desperate, surrounding in love. And just because we can't fix everything ourselves doesn't mean we don't try to help. It's hard work, staying soft in a harsh society. It's tricky work, remaining hopeful yet aware. There are times when we break down in tears and times when we collapse in exhaustion. But we trust in the promises of God, that those who sow in tears will reap in joy, that you console those who weep, that you guard and keep us no matter the outcome, that when it's all said and done, we rest in love. This is our consolation.
And now, God, do it again. Bring rains to our drought-stricken lives. So those who planted their crops in despair will shout yes at the harvest. So those who went off with heavy hearts will come home laughing with armloads of blessing.
As we close our prayer, we invite you to slow down once again, taking a couple more slow, deep breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. Allowing space once more for God's love to fill every corner of the room and every corner of our bodies and mind.
Who can stand amidst the waves? Who can speak above the wind? Who has conquered the night? Giving birth to the day. I stand without your spirit? How can I go without your spirit? You took her to Moana, hey, to Tolu, to Te Ao, to Te Po. You took her to Moana, hey, to Tolu, to Te Ao, to Te Po.
As we leave this space, we ask, God, be in my head and in my understanding. God, be in my eyes and in my looking. God, be in my mouth and in my speaking. God, be in my heart and in my thinking. God, be in my rest and in my sleeping.
Thanks for joining us with prayer tonight, St. Paul's. We hope that you have a good evening and a good rest of your week.
How can I stand without your spirit? How can I go without your spirit? How can I stand without your spirit? How can I go without your spirit?